Hello viewers, welcome back to our channel. In this video, we are going to be learning ARP. ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol. So in this video, we are going to be learning what is an ARP and the types of ARP packets. Okay, so basically, ARP is used to discover the physical address of the directly connected devices. So we need two types of addresses. One is physical address and the other is IP address. So the IP address which is provided by the DHCP server. So DHCP server is providing the IP address or static configuration. So we can assign statically or DHCP server will provide the IP address of the directly connected device such as default gateway, okay, or the devices in the same subnet. So now for let's take an example. So this is an example. Now the laptop has to communicate with the default gateway. So the laptop got the IP address from the DHCP server, but who will provide the physical address, which is the MAC address of the default gateway? So here we have our address resolution protocol. So what it does is it will send an ARP request to the default gateway. It is a broadcast. ARP request is a broadcast, so it will be sent to every device in the same subnet. So every device in the same subnet will receive the ARP request. Only the intended receiver of the ARP request will send a replay, ARP replay, which is a unique cast. So an ARP replay will be from the default gateway. So the laptop will receive the ARP replay and it will see the MAC address of the default gateway. So this is how they work. Let's see that in Wireshark. On Wireshark, let's see that on Wireshark. So let's go to ARP. So here is I have captured some ARP package. So now we are going to see ARP request. So let's go to the series ARP probe. Here is the ARP request. So we got the ARP request. Here you can see ARP request. So I'm going to open the packet ARP packet. Here you can see the broadcast MAC address, the broadcast, the layer 2 address. Here you can see the source MAC of the sender and the destination as broadcast. So every device in the subnet will receive this ARP request. So here are the information in the ARP request. Hardware type, which is Ethernet, protocol type IPv4. So this ARP request is for IPv4 address. Then hardware size, which is 6 byte. The size of the MAC address is 6 byte. Next, protocol size, which is 4. The size of the IP address is 4 byte. Next, optional code, OP code. It is a request. So OP code 1. 2 means reply. Next, sender MAC address, which is the sender's MAC address. Then sender IP address, which is 29.1, which is me. I'm the sender. Next, target MAC address, which is 0000000 because the target MAC address is unknown. So we need the MAC address. So we are sending zeros. Next, target IP address. We know the IP address because DHCP server provided the IP address of the default gateway. So 29.1 is the default gateway. So our request is being initiated. Let's go to the ARP reply. Here is the ARP reply. So same hardware type and protocol type, hardware size, protocol size, OP code 2. 2 means reply. Next, sender MAC address, which is the MAC address of the default gateway. Sender IP address 29.1. Target MAC address, which is the MAC address of the PC, the laptop, and target IP address, which is 29.120, sorry, 188. So which is I'm the receiver here. So sender is the default gateway, and the receiver is me. I'm the receiver. So our request and our replay. So for done, next we are going to learn about our probe. You can see our probe. Let me show you the difference between our request and our probe. Let me show you the difference. Okay, I'm going to show you the difference now. Here you can see the sender IP address, which is 0.0.0.0. And here you can see, let me show you in the ARP request. Here you can see, the sender IP address. It is an ARP request. Here you can see the request. And here you can see the sender IP address 29.188. But in ARP probe, which is 0.0.0.0, it is nothing but it is called duplicate address detection. ARP probes are used to detect duplicate address. So the target IP address is my IP address. So what I'm doing here is I'm sending my IP address as the target IP address, because whether someone has my IP address, so it is an APIPA. This IP address is from APIPA. So whether we have any other ARP probes, here you can see this is my original ARP probe. Here you can see the target IP address is 29.188. But this is my IP address. Why I'm sending my IP address is target IP address is because I wanted to know whether someone in the network has my IP address. So here I'm discovering whether my IP address is already available in the internet. Okay, this is the use of R Pro. So I'm sending my MAC address, sender MAC address as my MAC address, then sender IP address as 0.0.0.0, and target MAC address is 0.0.0.0.0. Target IP MAC address is always zeros, whether it is our request or our probe or gratuitous or our proxy or whatever the or type, but the target MAC address is always zeros. And the target IP address, which is 28.188, if someone who has this IP address in this network will reply. Okay, so if nobody has this IP address, I won't get any reply from reply. Okay, so whether I got any reply, let's check the R probes of a PIPA range. So when the DHCP server is not available because of some other reasons, the server might be busy or the server might have down. So the situation like that, the APIPA, which is automatic private IP addressing, will provide an IP address, which means the PC or the laptop will assign an IP address itself from the range 169.254. From this range, the laptop or the PC will assign an IP address. So before assigning the IP address, this before assigning the IP address, the laptop will send an ARP probe to verify whether someone in the subnet has the same APIPA IP address. Okay, so I'm sending the APIPA. I have selected an IP address from the APIPA range, and I'm sending an ARP probe whether someone in the subnet has the same IP address. So here is my ARP probe. So now this ARP probe contains, this is not the ARP probe. Here is the ARP probe. Okay, this ARP probe is to detect the IP address of my own IP address, because now I got an ARP offer from the DHCP server. So Now I got an offer from the DHCP server. In the DHCP offer, the server will provide an IP address, will offer an IP address. So I have been offered 192.168.29.188 by the DHCP server. What I'm doing here now is, now I'm sending this ARP probe to verify whether someone in the subnet has this IP address, because that ARP offer might have been sent by an attacker. So now I'm verifying whether someone in the subnet is using this IP address. Okay, so this is the functionality of ARP probe. It is nothing but it is used to detect duplicate addresses. Okay, duplicate address detection. ARP probe is used for duplicate address detection. Next, we are going to be learning ARP, gratuitous ARP. So it is also called GARP. So in this video, we're also learning GARP, gratuitous ARP. Here you can see the gratuitous ARP, the GARP, sends a reply. So ARP probe and ARP, a normal ARP sends request, but gratuitous ARP sends replies only. It will not send or receive any request. It only sends a reply, which means the gratuitous ARP is usually sent by the router, so to announce the existence of a device. So for example, now I have changed the MAC address of the router. So what the router will do is it will send a GARP or an ARP reply to every device in the subnet to announce that MAC address of the default gateway is being changed. So what I'm doing here is I'm announcing, no, it's not me, it's the default gateway. It's announcing its MAC address to the peers, the directly connected devices. Okay. Okay. Now let's see the fields. So the sender MAC address, which is the MAC address of the default gateway, and sender IP address, which is the IP address of the default gateway, and the target MAC address, which is broadcast. Look here, the ARP reply is always unicast, but here in GARP, the ARP reply is broadcast, because now you can see the OP code to so reply. Here you can see the broadcast address, and the sender MAC address and the target MAC address are same. Okay, so the sender MAC address and the target MAC address are same, and the sender MAC address, sorry, the sender IP address and the target IP address are same. I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. Mm. Sender MAC address, which is the MAC address we are advertising. Sender IP address .6 and the target IP address of .6. So sender IP address and target IP address are same. So target MAC address broadcast, and sender MAC address is the MAC address of the sender, because the sender is announcing its extent. So what it is doing here is it is sending its IP address and MAC address to the peers, the directly connected devices, that the IP address, the MAC address for 0.6 is being changed, and this is the MAC address, which is 0.0.00 colon 00 colon 0C and 07 colon 08AC colon 01, which is the virtual MAC address of HSBR, sorry, HSRP, which is Hot Standby Routing Protocol. So what here is, there is two routers available. So two routers available, for example, instead of having one router for default gateway, here we have two routers as default gateway, and the two routers will be function as a single logical router, and the MAC address for the virtual router is 00 colon 00 colon 0C colon 07 colon AC colon 01. The 01 represents the group now, so which is the virtual MAC address. So HSRP uses GARP to announce the IP address of the HSRP, which is the virtual MAC address. So to announce the existence of a node, GARP is used. Okay, so these are the difference between ARP request, GARP, and ARP probe. Next, we are going to be learning proxy ARP. Here you can see an example for proxy ARP. What is happening here is the router is answering ARP request on behalf of the original receiver. So what is happening here is you can see the router is answering the ARP request. The ARP replay is sent to 10.0.4.44, which is here 10.0.4.44. On behalf of this PC, the router is answering the ARP request. Here you can see I know how to get to 10.0.4.4, and the MAC address which is the router is sending is 0053 and the FFFF. Here you can see 0053 and FFFF.99999. So on behalf of this original receiver, the router is answering the ARP request. You can ask a question because they belong to different subnet. Here you can see /24, this belongs to 0 network, and this PC belongs to 4 network. So what is happening here is this PC, the ARP proxy lets this PC thinks that this PC is in the same subnet. So this PC thinks that the receiver is in the same subnet. Okay, so like that, this PC is thinking. So instead of thinking that the receiver is in the different subnet, this PC thinks that this PC is in the same subnet. That's why it is sending an ARP request for this PC. Otherwise, it will send an ARP request for the default gateway. Okay, so this PC thinks that this PC is resides in the same subnet. That's what we can see. So let me show you the packet flow. This is the packet tracer. Let's go here. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to initiate a traffic from this. The default gateway is 192.168.1.1. The IP address for this PC is the IP address for the PC is 192.168.1.2. The subnet mask is 255.250.250.0. So let's go to simulation. Okay, I'm going to initiate a traffic. Now this PC is unaware of the MAC address of the default gateway. Now we have a statically assigned the IP address of the default gateway. You can see statically assigned IP address of the default gateway. Now I'm going to initiate the traffic from laptop 2, where you can see the ARP. You can see the type ARP. So let's resume here. The ARP request goes. Now the default gateway accepted the ARP request and sends an ARP reply. Here you can see. Then our ICMP packet goes. Then there will be a reply. Here it's the reply. So and the result is successful. So this is how the ARP functions. Okay, what this packet is: multi-layer switch CDP, which is Cisco Cisco Discovery Protocol. So package. Only Cisco devices will reply to this traffic. Other devices will not reply to this traffic because the pages are not belong to Cisco. Only Cisco devices will reply to the packet. Okay, so far we have learned about ARP. So I think we have learned enough about ARP, address resolution protocol. I think we have done a good job, and thanks for watching the video. If you have any doubts or questions, please post your questions in the comment section. I will answer your questions, and thanks. See you then. Bye bye.